Hello and welcome to New Fast Food. Today we're going to be talking all about new test items that have popped up at various restaurants throughout the country. We're going to be talking about test items that have popped up at Taco Bell, Arby's, Popeyes, and Subway. A lot of cool stuff. Can't wait to get into it. But before we do, I want to recognize that New Fast Food throughout the month of October will be raising awareness for breast cancer through the Pink in the Middle campaign. Stay tuned to the end of the episode to find out how you can get involved with New Fast Food through the Pink in the Middle campaign. Alright, so let's now jump right into it. We're going to start with Arby's. And Arby's has been seen testing something that they're calling Meatoberfest. Now, Meatoberfest features 3 different sandwiches, but really the ingredients that it features are braised beef, beer cheese sauce, and pretzel buns. This would be the first time, if this goes nationwide, this would be the first time that Arby's has featured pretzel buns on their menu. Okay, so along with the braised beef, they're also featuring roast beef sandwiches and corned beef sandwiches that also have that beer cheese sauce and pretzel buns. Those, though, are meats that Arby's has throughout the year, so those ones aren't sort of promotional meats, even though they are promotional sandwiches. So really, as far as the meats go, it's all about that braised beef. Now the whole Meatoberfest thing, I'm not really sure if this is actually a test promotion or if it's just a slow rollout. Arby's has done slow rollouts in the past, and what that means is that they start it in just a few places, and then slowly throughout a week or 2 weeks, several weeks, they roll it out to the rest of the country. One thing that maybe points to this being a slow rollout as opposed to a test item is the Meatoberfest promotional advertising for it. It's kind of unusual for a chain to have such an elaborate promotional campaign around just a test item that they're only testing in a certain area. But one thing that points to this maybe just being a test item is that it first surfaced online over 2 weeks ago, and since then we haven't really heard much else about it. If it's a slow rollout, it's really a really slow rollout. So I'm really excited about this. Braised beef, that sounds good. The beer cheese sauce, I just had some beer cheese nachos over the weekend, and those were fantastic. So I'd be very interested to try Arby's take on the beer cheese sauce. And of course, for Meatoberfest, Arby's is also offering a beer cheese triple stack. Arby's always does these sort of mountainous versions of their promotional items, and I'm really happy that they do it because I think it kind of started off as kind of a joke, but then I don't know, maybe people actually were ordering them, so they continue to do this. It seems like every time they have a new promotional item come out, they also bring out this sort of mountainous version with usually at least 3 different kinds of meats on it, all stacked high. And I think it's really cool that they do that, even if only a few people order these sort of large size sandwiches. I still think it's really cool that they actually do them. All right, again, the braised beef, the pretzel buns, the beer cheese sauce, that seems to be just testing right now at certain Arby's locations. All right, now let's move on. I'm going to try to move quickly because there are a lot of test items to get through. Next, let's talk about Subway. A couple episodes ago, I talked about the barbecue rib sandwich that I think is more of a regional item than a test item that they have going out right now in some southern states. But there are like 3 new meats that they are test marketing in various areas across the country. The first one is called the Homestyle Chicken sandwich, and this one is really cool because it's kind of like a Chick-fil-A style chicken sandwich. And I love Chick-fil-A sandwiches. I think that would be really cool if Subway were to come out with something along the same lines. In addition to the Homestyle Chicken sandwich, they're also testing a honey jalapeno chicken. This one has a salsa verde glazed chicken and a honey red jalapeno sauce. And then in addition to that, they're also testing in different locations Firebird chicken, and this one has jalapeno lime seasoned chicken and a jalapeno aioli sauce. So it's important to mention that those last 2, the honey jalapeno chicken and the Firebird chicken, those both feature not only new meats but also new sauces. And that's interesting because Subway just came out nationwide with a Chipotle cheesesteak sandwich, and that one doesn't feature any new meats or any new sauces. It features a new bread, but it's kind of disappointing that there's no new meat or new sauce on a new promotional sandwich from Subway. So it's good to see that all these other ones that they're testing are either at least a new meat, and then also, and at least for these other ones, a new sauce as well. Of these three, I think I'd be a little hesitant to try the honey jalapeno chicken, just because the whole sweetness with the honey doesn't really sound all that attractive to me. But the other two, the Homestyle Chicken sandwich and the Firebird chicken, those sound really good. I would love to try either one of those. I think maybe the Homestyle Chicken first, and the Firebird chicken, I think, would be a close second. All right, then in addition to those new sauces and new meats that Subway is testing, they're also testing paninis at certain restaurants. This is according to an article that ran in USA Today. Subway is already testing paninis in several of their locations, and this would be a huge change for them. This would be probably the biggest change that Subway has made since they added toasted sandwiches way back. I want to say that was like 10, 15 years ago, back when they were trying to compete with Quiznos. That effectively ended up, kind of like ending Quiznos' run. These paninis, I'm not sure if these are directly targeted at a certain competitor, maybe Panera, but yeah, if Subway starts offering paninis, that would be huge. I'd be interested to try them. One of the things that's kind of disappointing about paninis in general is that usually there's not much in them, right? It's usually just sort of meat, cheese, and like tomatoes or something like that. But of course at Subway, you can pile pretty much anything you want on your sandwich and turn it into a panini. I think that would be really cool. I'd love to have a big panini that I think would fill me up. Usually paninis, they just don't fill me up. I also think it'd be interesting to see how they do this, right? If they have some kind of special panini press that they have to use to get a larger sandwich into a panini press, I'd be interested to find out how they do that. Okay, so all that stuff, tons of new stuff going on at Subway, being tested around the country, and hopefully some of that stuff comes nationwide. Now let's move on to Taco Bell. Taco Bell is testing all sorts of things. A few of them we've talked about before on this show, so I'm not going to go into detail on stuff that they have tested before but are just testing again. But a couple of new things that they are testing. One of them is a new chicken tortada. So Taco Bell had chicken tortadas on, as a promotional item way back about 10 years ago. It's basically sort of like a Crunchwrap Supreme, but without that crunchy tostada layer in the middle. And then also it's not round, or it's kind of, they fold the tortilla up in a sort of a square shape. So the difference between those old chicken tortadas and these new ones is the old ones had grilled chicken inside. These new ones have the naked chicken chips, which are kind of like Taco Bell's version of chicken nuggets. Now the price for this new crispy chicken tortada is actually quite a bit lower than the original chicken tortadas were 10 years ago. That just goes to show you that these fried naked chicken chips cost Taco Bell so much less than the grilled chicken does. They're so much cheaper than the grilled chicken that even 10 years later, they're able to offer them at a lower price than the grilled chicken was back then. All right, so in addition to those new chicken tortadas, Taco Bell is also testing a brand new taco. This is the loaded nacho taco. It's basically just a soft taco with nacho cheese and the crispy red strips inside. You can also make it spicy by adding jalapenos, it looks like, at no additional charge. Now perhaps they could eventually release this alongside the loaded nacho burrito that I covered earlier this year when they were testing that. Okay, now between the two, the chicken tortada and the loaded nacho taco, I'd say that I'm more excited about this loaded nacho taco just because tacos are my favorite thing to order at Taco Bell. If I could get a soft taco for $1 and it's got the crispy strips in it and nacho cheese, I think that would be not only a great deal, but something that I would love to try. All right, so those are the new things they're testing at Taco Bell. Finally, Popeyes has announced that they are testing in the Boston area deep fried Oreo cookies. It's kind of interesting because Church's Chicken last week came out with something very similar, sort of a deep fried Oreo cookie of their own. These Popeye versions are deep fried double stuffed Oreos. They're testing them at 2 for $2. And, whoa, wait a minute. 2 for $2, that's $1 per Oreo. That is an incredibly high price. I cannot believe that that is the price they went with. They're basically just an Oreo cookie. It's breaded and deep fried. They're trying to charge $1 for it. You know, chicken nuggets are breaded and deep fried as well, and those routinely are sold for $4 for $1. So I don't know where Popeyes gets the idea that they can sell a deep fried Oreo for $1. So to be fair, they're coming 2 for $2, or also 3 for $2.50, 4 for $3. Even then, that's just hard to justify for me. I think these need to come in at 2 for $1 at the very least. But really, I mean, if you're comparing to a chicken nugget, they really should come in more along that price. 4 for $1 would be ideal. I think 3 for $1 would be a pretty good deal as well. But really, I mean, $1 a piece, there's just no way. All right, so that's today's fast food news. Thank you so much for going over it with me. Throughout the month of October, New Fast Food will be raising awareness for breast cancer through the Pink in the Middle campaign. There's a couple of different ways you can get involved with the Pink in the Middle campaign. The first one is by heading over to the donation page, which is at info-komen.org/go-to/pinkinthemiddle. You can make any kind of donation there. It goes straight to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Or alternatively, you can navigate over to the New Fast Food Teespring store. There's brand new Pink in the Middle t-shirts that you can purchase. All the profits from the Pink in the Middle t-shirts, which equals $10 per t-shirt, will go directly to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. So that's very exciting. I'm really excited to be participating in this for the whole month of October. Thanks for tuning in. Leave your thoughts down below on anything that we talked about today. And as always, you can watch more videos right now.